everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in Gold Rush, a 4th edition Weird West campaign being run by the incredible Danae Keener of DanaeKeener.com. Today is February 12th, 2024, and you are loved. And that is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners at the beginning of each and every single one of these games. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, or you can go towards anywhere audio casts are being made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, if you go to patreon.com/indooradventures, you can check up on our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions for myself or any of these other fine folk, feel free to again join us at patreon.com/indooradventures. It's free to sign up, free to listen. All it takes is a little bit of time. But let's say you already support us on Patreon. You already support us on YouTube and Twitch and all of those other wonderful places, and you're trying to think to yourself, where can I go to help support this fantastic show even more? Well, guess what, Acorns? I got your back. Quite literally, in fact, because if you go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, we got t-shirts, we got posters, we got mugs, we got crop tops, throw pillows, shower curtains, aprons, clocks. We even have face masks with the symbol of Tiamat upon them, designed by our very own Cyberwolf1201, where all of the proceeds of our merch currently goes to help support Doctors Without Borders. So if you would like to help support a good cause, or possibly help support the show, you can again go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. That is indooradventure, no S at the end, .redbubble.com. But that is enough for my opening spiel. So hey, RJ, who you playing today?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ, and today I'm playing Kid, the Genasi Sword Mage. We both go by he, him. He's rootin', he's tootin', he's shootin', and I'm a menace.
Hello everybody, I'm LBHackEmUp, and I am a she, her. I'm going to be playing Trisannas, or Tris, she, they. And she is a tree person, and a seeker at that. She's putting up with everybody at this point.
And Cyber, who you playing today?
Hi, I'm Cyber. I'm struggling. I use he and any pronouns. I will be playing Rakel. Rakel uses she, her pronouns. She is a human shaman.
And I'm the Indoor Adventurer, he, him, and tonight I shall be playing as Carruthers Edelweiss, Human Ranger. We both use he, him pronouns.
And I guess that just leaves me. Hey, everybody. I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener. I use she, her pronouns. I'm going to be the DM for today. Why don't we just kick things off with our recap? Last time, we met 3 of our heroes. Kid, a young air genasi, hankering to take out the deputies of the Compass Roves. Carruthers, a world-weary old coot trying to mitigate the damage. Trisannas, an ethereal and arboreal seer of spirits looking to make connections on behalf of the trees. Last time, y'all met up with an outlaw named Thorny Toad Jim, who wanted you to gamble with him for the wanted poster that he held. One thing led to another, and that turned into a saloon brawl. After soundly defeating him and his gang of thorns, you collected your winnings and retired to Ruth's boxcar. After souping up the cart with some lawcraft, they consulted the wanted poster and set their heading. You rolled into the town of Happenstance, where you received no small amount of attention from the locals. A kindly old innkeeper asked you to deliver a letter for her, and then after some heart-to-hearts, the posse turned in for the night. And y'all have a long rest.
Yeah.
And I've been poking around in your character sheets. I already took care of that. You had a long rest. Just take it from me.
Thank you.
I recently learned some things about action points because I actually looked up the rules. They do not refresh on a short rest. They refresh on a long rest, but you have the potential to earn extra action points when you have 2 consecutive encounters without a short rest in between.
Got it.
Alrighty. Well, where do you reckon we should start? With our established posse, or should we get a peek at what Rakel's all about?
See Rakel. Or I don't want to
Yeah.
put Cyber on the spot. I'm sorry.
Why not? I don't know how any of this shit works.
Alrighty. I'm down for it. I think a good place to start off with Rakel is probably right at the barrier of the grove, just after you step past it. Um, we see a lush, green, verdant area, tall trees, so tall, with all layers of foliage in between. Um, you step out of the shimmering barrier of the grove, and what do we see as far as what your character looks like?
Yeah, well, Raquel is a suntan woman in her late 20s. She's got the like side cut kind of hair that's kind of like poofed over a circlet of uh very small like maybe like a year after regrowing after last shed horns uh antlers uh just going around her forehead. She has a very light bit of face paint on her and a few scars along her face. Dressed in very, very loved, very used attire of a lot of like leather and fur and cloth. She has a spear and a what else did she have? She's carrying a spear behind her back, but definitely just has uh, like you can see a couple of like piercings of bone around her like eyebrow, her ear, some feathers from birds of prey drooping down her left earlobe. She looks
You
fucking tired.
also, she looks tired. You also received a rather precious gift just before you left. A powerful implement for commanding the spirits. Do you have an idea for what that looks like?
I'm gonna think about it.
Okay. You can hold on to that one. But whatever it is imbued with law, so it would have some amount of gold presence to its appearance. Um, you step outside of this shimmering barrier. There's a ripple that just sort of like goes through the woods in this a shimmering miasma. You look back and you know that you need only to reach out to those on the other side, and they will recognize you as someone who belongs in the grove, and they will welcome you back home. Are you tempted at all to return?
Not
Okay. Um, you have your heading. You know a name, a place to go. How do you set about that?
right. I was given a heading after
Mm-hmm.
I left this, so I there's definitely a sense of direction.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, she's gonna try and make it there as quickly as possible.
Just hoof it.
Yeah.
All right. Um, you are not tempted at all to return to the grove. You turn and decisively begin to move on foot in the direction of a town called Glimmer. All right. I think we're ready. We've gotten a taste of Rakel. Let's cut back to the posse for a bit. I think any conversations happen over breakfast? Or are you guys okay to go to the rail platform on your departure?
I'm good to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
It's
Triss is pretty quiet.
it seems that overnight, the town of Happenstance has kind of gotten word of the fact that there are people imbued with law in the town. And there's a lot more people who are sort of eyeballing your strange vehicle. And a number of people who actually approach you specifically to speak with you. Similar to the innkeeper, many of them have mail that they would like sent farther west when you do start heading that direction. But one or two of them have caught wind that you're heading to Glimmer, um, and they want you to keep an eye out for actually missing members of their family.
You all got a picture we can see? Or did they have descriptions?
Descriptions is probably the most that you get. Photos would be expensive in this time.
Also give like the people giving letters, we can't promise nothing, but we will try.
These people that have gone missing, do they tell us why?
A very common story seems to be that they went to go make deposits at the bank.
And did they go missing like on the way or when they got there? Did they know?
How would they?
Okay, fair. Where's the bank?
Glimmer.
Glimmer.
Okay.
This is a surprise to you. Glimmer should not be big enough for a bank.
Okay. Have I been to Glimmer before?
That's a good question. Roll me just a flat d20. Or actually, you know what? Roll me streetwise.
Okay,
Were you touring in Glimmer?
perhaps.
Hey.
16.
Hey yo.
That ain't bad. A long time ago, yeah. The rail doesn't run through Glimmer, so you would have been probably near enough that like folks from Glimmer could come out and see what you had to offer. But you were close enough and you heard enough about it to know that Glimmer should be a nothing town, like just like a general store.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about it. Like a general store, some houses, like a sheriff's office, like bare bones, like kind of stuff. Like the only way to get in and out of there was basically stagecoach.
Well, that is interesting. Do you know when they put in the bank? Because last time I was there, there wasn't such a thing in such a small town.
Bank's been up for well, at least 4 years now.
Did they have a boom of some kind? It was very small.
Oh, yeah. Glimmer's the biggest town in miles.
I'm sorry, what?
A lot of people who live out here are here because of Glimmer.
Oh.
There's a lot of money going in and out of that place.
From my recollection, and from just context clues, it used to be like a podunk town, right?
Yeah, it was nothing. It was nothing. It had a huge boom, evidently.
You got railways that lead into there now?
We wouldn't know. Ain't nobody allowed to use the rails.
They found a vein down there?
Big shrugs. It's a fancy place.
Well, we'll make sure that if we find any of your missing family members, that we send them right on back, or at least encourage them to send a letter.
Goals.
All right. You get a lot of you get a lot of people going up onto the platform to wave handkerchiefs as you head out. This is clearly some kind of spectacle for these folks.
Do I need to make another Arcana check to make our hand car?
Yeah, I'm not gonna make you.
Okay.
I think the
Oh.
first time was enough.
How much
Unless you
gold
want to
does it
try
cost?
for something fancier.
I'm not risking it.
Okay.
I've got the strength.
All right.
How much gold did it cost?
Well, we
It was 20 gold.
yeah, and then we immediately like withdrew it. So
Oh, I see. Okay. That's right.
Yeah. I
All
think
right.
that Ruth is on one side of the push car and Kid's on the other.
wait, Ruth. It's me first, then you, because if we go you first, we go backwards.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
One,
Go
two,
on two.
Whoa!
It's just all 100 pounds of him just lifts up.
Every time. All right. Y'all head out. I would like a check of some sort just to make sure that you guys don't get lost.
It's a rail. It go one
It
way.
I mean, it's still got switches and stuff.
Would this be like a nature check?
Let's go with the nature
Because I
check.
don't see a survival like
There-
skill.
Yeah, there is no survival skill in 4E. Nature is probably the closest thing we got.
12.
12.
Ruth,
All
try
right.
something natural.
That's not horrible. It's not remarkable for 4th edition though, I'll have to say.
I think
Yeah.
it's about average.
You guys probably take a wrong turn at least once, but you catch it pretty quickly. You're able to backtrack and then like go the correct direction. You're kind of confused because these rails were definitely not here before. It seems that somebody's instincts were correct previously. It looks like there are new rails put down that are heading in the direction of Glimmer.
So a lot less rusted than the ones we've been on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the look of this.
It gets like the ride gets real smooth all of a sudden.
Hey, just for our own benefit, I think we should stop off early before pulling into town.
Not a bad thought.
At best.
You got your you got your hiking shoes on, Miss Triss?
I don't wear shoes. I'm made for walking.
Oh. My bad.
All right. How soon do you stop off?
Maybe like a mile away from town.
Yeah, it seems like
mile?
a safe bet. Yeah.
After like a particularly arduous hill that has Kid and Ruth like
Yeah. Well, I'll put it this way. There you come up over a hill, and you see like a huge valley, like real deep, and like really overgrown, like a lot. Like it's kind of a lot. Like there's brambles and shit, sticker bushes, like it looks like it would suck to walk through. But if you got over that bridge, then like you probably could stop off with no problem from there.
can
Ram
do.
it. Yeah.
All right, you head over that bridge. Coincidentally, Rakel,
Yeah.
you were faced with a very similar issue. You came across that huge valley full of pricker bushes and really rough hiking, and you were presented with quite a large bridge with a railway across it. would Rakel be the kind of person to take the railway?
No.
No, just
She's very used to overgrown bramble and everything.
all right.
Not as well equipped to deal with it like her daddy, but well, we'll see how it goes.
Works for me. Rakel, you're walking along. No, give me a nature check to see how well this is going for you.
I'll make a nature check. Oh, like that. Okay.
16?
Mhm.
Okay. Not bad. This is arduous. So I'm going to say that you spend a healing surge whilst actually maybe I should have made you do an endurance. It's fine. This is arduous. You spend a healing surge while navigating your way through here. Fortunately, that huge bridge, that railway, gives you a direct heading. Like, it's near impossible to get lost because all you have to do is look up, see which direction that bridge is going, and then just like continue in that way. As you're walking along, you hear something you probably have never heard before. It sounds like a shrill, enormous bird. About 10 of them, all screaming at once. And it's coming from the bridge.
I want to try and figure out what the source of the noise is.
Okay. Look up and give me a perception check. All right.
26.
26. You see everything, including the disaster that is about to occur. Do you think that Rakel would be able to identify a train?
No.
Okay. You see something large, metal, angular, spewing black smoke into the sky, coming from the direction of Glimmer along the tracks on that bridge. And you also see a glint of gold, about halfway along the bridge. And that little glint of gold is unfortunately the rail car that the posse is trying to get across the bridge. What I'm saying is they're both heading in the same direction toward each other, about to have a head-on collision. So right about now is the time that you folks are going to have what I'm calling a quick draw skill challenge. We are not rolling initiative. You all get to roll one skill check in order to try and mitigate the damage from this. The way that this is going to work, it's a little bit different from a regular skill challenge because, like I said, no initiative. Everybody's basically acting at the same time. You may use the same skill. However, if more than one person uses the same skill, you each will have a negative to your check equal to the number of people using that skill.
So if the three of us use athletics, it'd be a -3 cumulative. Like each of us
Yes.
take a -3 to that.
Yes. And this is going to be similar to a group skill check in 5e. Like one person can fail and you're going to be okay. But if the majority of you succeed, then you as a group will succeed. And if you all succeed, then you'll get what's called a something victory. Hold on, what is it? Where's my skill challenge rules again?
Full victory. No,
Yeah.
it's something victory. Yeah.
It's the difference between a victory and a partial victory.
Are we aware of the birds inside?
The birds?
Yeah.
Oh, there is no birds. This is just a train.
The birds are you.
Oh. Okay.
Just the squeaking of the rails.
Mhm.
May I use athletics to try?
what Rakel heard and like the bastardized version of what I described is essentially what her perspective is here.
Right, okay,
Rakel
okay.
has never seen a train before.
Gotcha. All right.
So from your perspective, you all hear a train horn, and then you look up and you realize that there is not enough time for you to come to a full stop and go the other direction, and this train can go faster than you can anyway.
I would like to use athletics to scoop Ruth and Triss and just jump
out.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that works for me. What are Ruth and Triss gonna do?
How do we need to be touching the rail car to disintegrate it back into gold?
You have to be in a range, I would say, because like
I believe so. Let me double check my rules for the ritual because I think you have to touch it.
Because y'all are bailing on this, but that's my house.
yeah, but there's a train coming at us.
Yeah, and if we can disintegrate a train car into 20 gold in the meantime,
we can disintegrate the train.
No, I don't know if we
No.
can disintegrate the train. That's not our thing to disintegrate.
No.
It's on our rail, so technically it's our
Mm-hmm.
property's 9/10 of the law.
Is this Final Fantasy VI?
Can I
You wanna
use
suplex the train?
Can I use my athletics to suplex the train?
You can certainly try.
Do nat 20s explode? Because if they do, I would attempt.
They do not.
Damn.
Okay, so you want to lift both myself and Triss and jump out of the train car. I would,
Assume that all these actions are happening simultaneously.
yes, I would like to save the train car if possible. But in order to do that, I feel like that would probably be like an acrobatics check or like some kind of dexterity. If I'm getting yoinked.
You'd like to dust it quickly before you are evacuated from the train car.
I don't think I have the skills for it. So instead, I would like to make a perception check to see where to land safely. Because if we're jumping into a big fuck off thing of briars from a cliff, from like a bridge, no.
Okay.
No. Aim for the hay bale or something.
All right.
So perception
Do
for me.
do an eagle dive from Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
All right. What is Triss going to do? You've muted yourself.
Computer. Triss is going to, let's see, I'm being pulled. You're rolling nature, right?
We have an athletics check and a perception check.
Okay. I will roll acrobatics to land well.
Okay. Yeah, that works for me. Everybody ready to roll?
Yep.
All right.
Yes.
Quick draw. 3, 2, 1. Draw.
Ooh. Ooh.
All right.
It's time to re-roll new characters. Yeehaw!
I rolled
well.
I will remind you that you can use an action point to re-roll if you would like.
I'm gonna do that. I click the button. There it is. 19.
Okay. That is going to be 2 successes out of 3 for a partial victory. All right.
How close
Kid-
is Rakel?
Kid- Would you like to assist?
Yes.
Oh.
Rakel has not seen a train before. She has seen people falling from a very great height into things that will hurt them.
Okay.
So
How would you like to assist them?
I don't know what ability this would be.
Okay.
I would like to just sort of launch myself that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to get my spirit to like intercept them.
Okay.
Redirect their velocity.
Do you think that it's amenable to use nature as a skill for things involving your spirit? Because usually divine power sources use or not divine, primal power sources would be using nature as their source.
Sure.
Like in the case of skill challenges, if one is going to be using magic to do something, depending on their power source, I'm okay with flavoring it as nature or religion or arcana, whichever one is relevant.
Sure. So nature.
Okay. Yeah, give me a nature check.
A number.
That's not quite enough for a success. But it is still a partial for y'all. However, by entering the skill challenge, I am going to give you the benefits and drawbacks of a partial success. You cool with that?
Yep.
All right. Everyone, for a partial victory, you will gain an action point each. So if you had an action point previously, you now have a total of 2. And as the drawback for a partial victory, each of you will lose 2 healing surges. All of the mechanics out of the way. How does this look, everybody?
Can I lose 4 so that to negate, or lose 4 so that Ruth and Triss only lose 1?
I appreciate your thoughts on the matter, but no.
Cool. Kid has pulled whomever he has grabbed out of the door and has essentially pocketed them in like the chest and is falling backwards into the bramble.
Okay. Ruth pointing out the place to land.
If
Chris working out the aerodynamics.
I was gonna say, if Kid is like grabbing one person and then landing on their back, I like the idea of Kid grabbing Triss and Ruth just aiming for like, is there a river nearby or something? Like,
yeah,
he's
I'm
just
fully
gonna
willing.
aim for the river.
Okay.
Aim for the bushes.
Yeah.
All right. Rakel, what does it look like when you send your spirit to try and break their fall?
Yeah. So Raquel kind of tries to do like a sort of semi pole vault with her spear to like gain some momentum towards y'all, and grabbing onto this totem of like 2 intertwined antlers carved out of wood that are intersected by 2 golden saber-tooth fangs and 2 golden bear incisors splashed with red or like blood-stained red. She sort of grips onto that, and following that same trajectory is this shape of this canid form with like antlers coming off of his head that is just sort of like pouncing at you in a predatorial strike, but misses you completely.
I had the idea that we land on the back, but then like our momentum is too much and just kind of we phase through it.
Absolutely.
Like it's ethereal.
Like there's a couple of seconds of like slow down, like huh, blink blink, and then the anime arms flail before passing through.
Yeah. This is a partial success. So like it's not a total failure.
Yeah.
I'll say it does break your fall a little bit. Like it slows you down enough that like it basically resets your momentum.
Unfortunately, this sphere was a Newtonian fluid.
Oh no. It's hard. It's cement at a certain level.
No, not non-Newtonian.
Oh, Newtonian.
Actually, Newtonian.
Okay.
All right, Ruth, land into a river.
Just see the hat just like floating along for a little bit.
Kid bounce off of a couple of tree branches and then land in a briar bush.
Tris stands up from the bushes and like shakes off the extra branches from around her, and she kind of just looks to Kid and like, I would have been fine if you hadn't grabbed me like that without permission.
The train
Duly
car just
noted.
explodes.
A shower of coins. Duly noted, and I apologize. Ow.
What was that thing that came after us? Is that a spirit? Did you see that?
Kid waves his hand in front of his closed eyes.
Is Ruth all right? Ruth!
Mr. Ruth!
It's just
Oh, yep.
It's just this like rat, like dripping rat of a man. Like his beard is just soggy and down. His hat is down. And you can tell like his clothes are very ill-fitting even when they're dry. And now like he's just like kind of like taken off the top and is just twisting out the water. And like it's not clean water. He's not gotten his clothes washed, sent through the wash for some time.
He took a bath yesterday and put on dirty clothes.
Yeah. What, you think I had clean clothes lying around? You think I made
You
them?
could have used the water afterwards.
You did visit the tailor.
I did.
They didn't clean it. They just sewed it.
They just fixed it.
You all right?
I'll live. I've had worse.
For our new player, would you guys like to describe your characters?
Yeah.
Picking bramble out of his chin and neck is a little taller than average blue-skinned RJustice. He has a coiffed of hair and is currently pulling a cowboy hat over it. A little lanky, and he's got a scar over his head, like a
Eyebrow. Is that
eyebrow. He has a notch in his eyebrow, and you could swear that his eyes are closed, but he's moving like he can see perfectly.
I recently found out that Fallen from Dungeon Meshi, the reason why she has fox eyes is because she's nearsighted. So are we dealing with a similar situation with Kid?
Well, Kid can't shoot, so
I'm willing to accept that. Yeah.
just needs glasses. The boy needs glasses.
Triss is a medium height wildin who has black skin under a white bark on top of it. There's some cracks in it that reveal the black underneath, but it is all together. She has sort of like green vined hair that comes down. Some of it's wrapped up in her large branches that branch off on top of her head. Black eyes with a white iris, and she's wearing a faux skirt because she doesn't really need modesty. But it is just like kind of tied around her waist and giving like volume to her hips, and it's mostly just torn fabrics, and yeah, she's not wearing any. Well, now she's wearing did we call it a leather jacket?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just now a little dirty black leather jacket with some little rivets on it, I think, but it's fairly form fitted to her, but gives movement.
And you see that the man getting out of the river is an old human, big bushy beard. You can see that he's sort of shaking himself dry like a dog would, and it's working to some surprising effect. He weighs maybe about 100 pounds now that he's soaking wet, for sure 100 pounds. But it is just this little rapscallion of a guy. Stands maybe about 5'2". Just a little guy.
It's just a little guy.
And
All right,
he is I would say he's yelling "dang nabbit" and like making a bunch of like high elbow arm shakes at the train.
Rakel, observing this posse of strangers, are you making yourself known or are you trying to lay low?
For a couple of seconds, she's just gonna look at the totem and look a little bit confused. But she'll shake her head a little bit and then start emerging from the briars. Y'all all right?
Triss turns very suddenly, protectively.
Just
Sounds like
yelling on
pretty
the other
nasty
side of the
fall.
brambles. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, it was a bit of a to-do. How are you?
Good, I guess. All right.
Just kid, you
Y'all know-
okay?
Y'all know how far it is to Glamour?
Well, it's just over the bridge. That I look up at the bridge. Is the other train still going, or?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it didn't even slow down.
Cool.
Like
Cool.
that unfortunately Ruth's train car is, well, it's in more pieces than it was before.
Mm-hmm.
Where that machine came from?
Yes, it would seem. Are you from the area?
Nah.
What are you doing out in these parts?
Looking for somebody.
Someone in particular, or just another living thing?
Yeah, somebody in particular. Dresses kind of like me, I guess.
Is your spirit ever present?
I don't think he would have hung around.
Okay. Well, if you don't mind a soggy human and the other two of us, we were heading that way. Probably should wait for that train to be done.
Yeah, we either try getting across those tracks again, or we figure out a better way across the river. Yeah, it's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Carruthers, but you can call me Ruth. And he extends a hand out to you. Or I think he would bow. I think he would give like a gentle little bow, whip of the hat, to show off his bald head towards you.
Oh, I'm Rakel.
Rakel, it is a pleasure to meet another companion along this dusty trail. More than happy to help get you to Glimmer, and then how about we get a nice drink, talk some things over once we get there. You're more than welcome to join us if you like. At least until you find
I'll stick
whoever you're
I'll
looking
stick
for.
around for a little bit. Yeah.
You can call me Trisannas.
Here.
Honest.
Pleasure to meet you.
And she's just like scanning all of your faces, just like taking in every detail.
When your eyes fall on Kid, he kind of turns his head to the side. Hey, Mr. Ruth, why don't we go and try and salvage some parts? Miss Triss, would you like to have a seat for a while? It will only be like 15 minutes.
What parts? It went the way of the mountainside, boy.
Well, I didn't get a chance to grab my gear, so, that might be scattered about.
We might be here a long time.
I mean, I could just get the essential right now.
Look, I'm not gonna tell you not to look for it, but
He reaches out a hand and just summons his gun and just leans it on his shoulder.
we'll find it.
No, I found my essential.
Oh, well, then I think I'm good to go. We either need to figure out a way to get back up onto those tracks and make our way, or like I said earlier, figure out a way across the river.
I'd rather not ford the river, because of what manner of beasties might be lying inside and around.
That's fair. No, there is that, what is it, malaria that we have to worry about?
Yeah, the yellow fever.
That only in sitting water.
You know, I've not been on the trail in a long while. That being said, he looks up at the bridge.
Yeah, that is a long way up.
So unless anybody has a means of getting some rope or something up there, and then we'd have to climb and carry it.
How far up is it?
At least 60 feet.
How much further would it be to continue through the bramble? Or
I'm
would the
gonna say-
bramble come to the river?
Reword that question. I'm not sure I understand.
Is
Come to-
is the path to Glimmer blocked by the river, even if we continue through the bramble?
It's a river that almost definitely has fording places. You would be able to cross it without much issue. It's a very slow moving river. Very old. In fact, it's probably what carved this valley.
How far across is the river?
Depends on where you cross it.
Let's find the easiest crossing point.
Yep.
Is a square 5 feet?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, if y'all want to look for any of the stuff that might have fallen out of the cart when it went kablooey, Ruth is more than happy to look for a place for fording.
Yeah, anybody who wants to seek out items to recover, you can give me a perception check. Likewise, Ruth, you can give me a perception check to look for a place for fording.
Okay. Said perception?
Mm-hmm.
15.
15. All right. Not too bad. I think after a little bit of time, you're able to work out a place to ford the river.
Got a 12 for scrounging.
It's not a matter of whether or not you find the stuff. It's a matter of how long it takes for you to find it.
As soon as Ruth says I got a path, the kid just gives up.
Okay. I'll give you back the 20 gold that you guys spent to.
Yay, that's my goal.
It's one of those things where you can kind of sense it.
And then just draw it to me.
Mm-hmm. Any amount of time that you spend, like, seeking it out, unless it has been taken from you by someone else, you can essentially find something like that. Yeah. All right. There's a place to ford the river. And there is a new person here. Assuming that it takes you a few hours to advance meaningfully, what does the travel look like as you make your way through the bramble and roughage?
I have a question that might be of a personal nature, but forgive me, I wouldn't say new to the outside world, but are you human? Are those antlers attached?
No. She'll like wiggle the circlet.
Mm.
No, it's just a headpiece.
It's very becoming.
Well, thank you.
Now, why do you find yourself out this way in the bramble?
Well, I'm doing something for my mama.
Family matter.
Yeah.
Understandable.
I think Kid and Ruth have their appropriate felling tools out and just whacking away at the briar as they're walking.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Have you any skills for being in the wilds?
Well, my daddy was a vine speaker. So I spent a lot of time with him out in the wilds, and stuff like this was no problem for him. And well, Chief was a hunter, so I got a pretty good sense of the wild. So yeah, I know a bit.
Is a vine speaker someone who talks to animals, to plants?
To plants.
Wonderful. And I assume that you have a great respect for nature.
Yeah.
What
I'm pretty new to everything out here.
Well, I think we'll get along just fine then. But these two are very handy and useful, very kind folk. Special Ruth over there. But we've only been together a short time, so we're still figuring each other out.
So what brings y'all on the way to Glimmer?
Currently, we are looking for some missing people from the town over. The town of Happenstance. We plan to make our way out west eventually. But for now, we've got to make our way here and see what we can find.
What's out west?
Many things.
Okay.
That's all she's willing to give up right now.
All right. Triz, what is your passive insight?
That's a good question. Stats. Passive insight. 19.
19. All right. The vibe that you get from Rakel, when she says what's out west, is that, like, she's not just asking as somebody who, like, never left her hometown. She's asking as somebody who is unfamiliar with the ramble.
Oh,
the
the world
entirety.
as a whole?
Yeah, like the continent.
Ah, less.
Baby.
I know. I think maybe seeing this, there's a moment of understanding, and then she says, kid, why don't I take over up here and you can explain to Miss Rakel. Is it all right if I call you Miss Rakel?
Sure, why not?
If you could explain to her some things that can be found out west. It seems that she is curious and new to the area. Yes,
Oh yeah, no problem. He'll hand the machete he has handle first to Triss and drop back to Rakel. So, hey, Miss Raquel, I heard you had some questions.
Uh, yeah, I mean, I guess I was just kind of curious what's out west. That's where y'all are eventually headed, right?
Yeah, well, right now we're heading towards Glimmer.
But like, what, whenever you head out west, what are y'all looking for? I guess I'm trying to figure out if how long we're going to be traveling together.
Well, for myself, it personal matter to attend to out west, so I'll be going as far as the winds take me, as they say. I don't know why Ruthie's coming, but or Miss Triss. So, where exactly is our mark? Again, the Sissy.
Miss Sissy.
Yeah.
She is in Glimmer. That is, like, according to the wanted poster, that is her last known location.
After Glimmer, I'm gonna do a bit of sleuthing to see where we're going to next. So, I guess depending on where that is, if you feel like accompanying us, by all means.
Okay, that really doesn't answer my question, but okay.
Well, okay. How much do you know about what's his name? Goldtooth?
Goldtooth Joe.
Goldtooth Joe.
How much do you know about the legend of Goldtooth Joe?
How much did Momo tell me?
How much did Ma tell you?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I don't know if you know anything about Goldtooth Joe. You know enough to get to Glimmer and look for the person that's missing. So, yeah, Goldtooth Joe, right over your head. Nothing.
Is his name Goldtooth Joe, or is he just a Joe that has a gold tooth? Or
Unclear.
many gold teeth?
Unclear, but I think his moniker would be Goldtooth Joe. He has a treasure for anyone who can take out any of all four of his deputies, and kind of aiming to do that.
Why would he want to have his deputies taken out?
They betrayed him, kind of at the 11th hour sort of dealy. Left him locked up on the other side of the Palisades.
And the Palisades are
Big mountain range.
Impassable by all accounts.
The final guardian that keeps us from that great big sapphire on the other side. Sweet salty. So I'm told.
there's a big sapphire on the other side.
I think he's talking about the ocean. It's a large body of water. Bigger than any lake.
Okay.
So, if anything, our journey into Glimmer is for monetary gain. If that explains anything to you.
I understand that.
I will be fielding questions from here until we get to Glimmer.
All right. In future, if Rakel encounters anything that she may or may not be familiar with, we can we can call back on this conversation and decide whether or not it's something that would have been covered. Cool.
Sure.
All right, cool. After some time, it's getting close to sunset, but you're tantalizingly close to exiting the valley. In fact, You have been you've got burning legs because you've been slowly advancing up a very shallow slope, pulling you up out of the valley. You eventually come across what appears to be an overgrown wall. It seems to span for some distance on either side, and it's a bit like ancient ruins, comprised of sandstone, and covered in not necessarily wild plants, but overgrown garden type plants. Something that was planted intentionally and then left to fester. This wall does not seem too hard to climb.
Time to scramble.
All right. Ruthie, you scramble on up the wall, and you get nearly to the top when you notice some... You notice a sign, right about at the top of it, just sort of like some runes printed into a brick. And I reckon that this would be in... trying to think of languages that are available in 4th edition. This would be in Elvish.
Ah, hell. I know Common and Dwarven.
Ah.
Why are we going up the wall and not?
Oh, you know what? This makes a lot more sense. It's not in Dwarvish. It's in Primordial.
Oh.
Primordial.
Yep.
I also know Primordial.
Uh-huh.
God damn it. It looks like I'm learning a thing or two next time I get the chance.
Who follows Ruth? And does Ruth Ruth point out the sign?
Yeah, he'll point it out. Just says, it's in scribbles I can't read. It's not, it's the light. Can't really make it out. But when y'all with, better peepers than me probably take a better chance. He just keeps on scrambling up.
Can I see it from where I'm standing, or do I have to get up next to it to read it?
You kind of have to be up next to it.
He'll hang from a brick, and he'll climb up, hang from a brick, and begin to read.
Yeah, as you're climbing, you can kind of identify that this is a part of the rock that has crumbled away, that there used to be a path and some stairs here, and that's where the sign would be positioned so that you can read it from the stairs. It says, "Hanging Gardens, beware of Chak Chak."
Mr. Ruth?
Yeah?
What's a Chak Chak?
I'm not really sure off the top of my head. Would there be a nature or history related skill that would maybe give me a little bit more insight into that? Why do I keep seeing this?
Oh, do you keep on seeing stuff pop up?
Yeah, it says Chak Chak can make a stealth, and that's been happening for a while.
Don't worry about it.
Look, I didn't say anything, all right?
I keep on hitting the wrong button is what keeps happening.
Are you?
I think
Are
it's
you
more
sure about
threatening to
it?
just say, your perception check failed. Thanks, Polterskate.
There we go. Okay. Finally hit the correct button. You said a history check to figure out what a Chak Chak is?
history or a nature, some kind of...
Yeah, whichever you think would be most useful.
Oh, thank God, nature. Not that it's maybe more useful, but I actually have points in that. 19.
19? There is no creature, nor plant flora, nor fauna, nor law-imbued critter that goes by the scientific moniker of Chak Chak. You assume that this is a proper name.
It was probably somebody's dog who lived here before.
Well, this sign says to beware of them.
Yeah, and if you saw an abandoned house that said beware of dog, would you believe it?
Yeah.
What else
Uh,
does the sign say, Mr. Kid?
Hanging gardens.
Can you see over the wall?
Almost.
Oh, he's standing on the wall by
Oh.
this point.
He's sort of looking
Uh,
around.
Yeah, mounted up on the wall, you can see that the ruins continue ahead of you a little ways. There is an obvious path down the middle with overgrown, like I said, human planted plants. And there is a big crumbled bit in the middle of what appears to be the walkway, and like big, tall, overgrown walls on either side. And then there's some stairs that lead up a little bit to a platform and some obvious exits on the other end.
I think kind of taking a look at this and knowing that it's getting dark, Ruth will turn down and just say, we should make a camp down behind the wall where y'all are still. Get some rest, and then tomorrow when it's light out, we can make sure to truck on through this. But with the light out, unless all y'all have, what do they call it, dark vision? More than enough to go around. I don't think that this is the safest excursion we could be trekking on today.
Right. Plus, if it's someone else's grove, we wouldn't want to pass through without
Certainly
permission.
not, no.
Hmm. Well,
All
I
right.
think that's a fine idea, making camp.
Decide to make camp at the foot of the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Ruth, Kid, hop down. Are you guys going to be setting up watch?
No.
Okay.
No,
any-
yeah.
Any other important conversations that occur throughout the night?
I think the only thing would be that Rakel might notice, and obviously the other two as well, but there might be a time or two that Triss seems to be noticing something that isn't there and regarding it for a moment, or like stepping into a space and then suddenly putting like a hand up as if to say I'm sorry and moving out of the space.
Before moving forward with this decision, some of you have 2 action points. If you take a long rest now, that will refresh to 1 action point.
Not really much we could do in this situation.
Okay. Just letting you know.
I punch Ruth and I use an action point to punch Ruth again.
The old man
Oh
falls
my god,
down,
you punched
stone
so many
dead.
times in 6 seconds. Sorry, what did Ruth say?
Oh, I said if he gets punched, he collapses, stone dead. A frail old man was walloped this day.
God bless. All right. We're setting up watches. A long rest comprises of 6 uninterrupted hours of rest. So, that'd be like 3 watches, right?
Yeah.
2 or 3. How do watches work normally? It's a number related thing, so it never sticks in my brain.
6 to 8 hours of sleep. We split it up between 4 people.
Okay.
Because I don't think any of us are elves with trance.
No, it's basically
Got it.
you transfer 2 hours, hit up the next person, and they watch for 2 hours, hit up the next person. They watch for 2 hours, hit up the next person, and then the person who did watch first is going to have to just like be awake for like 4 hours. But
Okay.
so you can usually
So that
do,
that
like,
would be
groups of
3
2.
watches.
Yeah.
Okay.
If everybody does a 2-hour watch, everybody will get 6 uninterrupted hours.
Yep.
Well, everyone will get 6 hours total of
Mhm.
uninterrupted sleep.
Works for me. So yeah, work out who first, second, third.
Ruth will go first.
Okay.
Or he'll either first or last, either way. He's fine getting up early, and he's also fine staying up late.
Triss will take watch with Rakel.
I'll take last, I guess.
All right.
Sounds good.
Ruth, give me a perception check.
Can do. Maybe not. That's a 16.
16. All right. There's a cool night air. You hear a train off in the distance, but otherwise, your watch goes by uneventfully.
He's just drying his clothes by the fire. They're still kind of damp from earlier, so he's just down to his
Bless him.
skivvies.
Tris and Rakel share a watch. Can I get a perception check from each of you? All right. 16 and 9. Any meaningful conversations between the two of you during this watch?
Yeah, if Raquel notices Triss sort of acting weird about things that aren't that she's not perceiving are there, she'll just be like, "Are you okay, Triss?"
I'm feeling just fine.
Or
Are you
what was your full name?
Trisannas.
Trisannas?
I'm feeling just fine. It's a little bit of cool evening, but I don't mind that. Why?
Just like you look like you were, I don't know, swatting away a bug or something.
Oh, no. It's just we are surrounded by those who have passed on. Not to, I know most people are a bit perturbed by that statement, but they are all around us and they mean us no harm. Most of them are kind folk. Some just need a little help.
That's not a thing that people are comfortable with here.
Some are, some aren't. Death is strange to some. They fear it. And those who have not passed on are unusual to them, and they feel that they could be of danger, which some can, but for the most part, they are just wandering souls.
I don't understand what you were trying to say.
How do your people deal with those who have passed on? Do you believe in the soul or the spirit that is left behind?
Sure, yeah.
All right. Well, those out here, disease, death in general, brings them fear. They don't want to die, and they feel that anything that has died and isn't going on is dangerous or scary. Some of them, not all of them. Are your people, do they interact with the dead or the spirits in any significant way?
I mean, sure, like, uh, wait, are you a spirit speak or are you a veil speaker?
That depends. What is a veil speaker?
Um, you can veil speakers are they sort of talk through the veil. They sort of call on it their ancestors.
Sort of.
Yeah.
I can see the dead and the spirits that linger. I can't call upon my own ancestors, just the ones around me at the time.
Something about that seems, I don't know, like sticky.
Perhaps. If it makes you feel any better, I usually ask permission before I use them in any way. Does that make you uncomfortable? All right. Well, that's good because I don't intend on stopping. It is kind of what I do.
Now, far be it for me to get in the way of what you do.
Well, if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
When Raquel is alone, she's going to pull out the totem again.
All right.
And try to summon another spirit. But the
Another-
same wolf, antlered wolf comes out.
Hmm.
Why did not Bailey give me you? She'll dismiss it. That's it.
Your watch passes uneventfully. Kid, you're on the last watch.
Here we go with 0. 6.
Mm-hmm. You can't see shit.
I can't see shit.
This is kind of my headcanon that kid is nearsighted. Do you think that's accurate?
No, yeah, that's that would explain why he uses his gun the way he does.
It
He can't hit a
explains
target
lot.
really far, but he can bash somebody real good.
Poor kid. All right.
I think he's just popped in a cigarette and just started smoking near the campfire.
Far as you know, your watch passes uneventfully.
Yay.
What does morning look like for the posse?
There's a can of beans that is being heated on the remains of the fire.
Ruth's can of eternal beans.
There is coffee being made next to the can of eternal beans.
Oh, is it cowboy coffee?
It's cowboy coffee.
Hell yeah! Cowboy coffee, for anybody who doesn't know, is coffee grounds boiled in water. And then you just kind of pour it off the top.
Do your best to sift the grounds as you can.
He puts a
You do-
spoon
hey.
on like the little thing so that it kind of
Otherwise,
semi-filters.
yeah, we'll
Mm-hmm. Hey,
put
if
hair
you
on
do
your
it right,
chest.
you let it settle, you can get a real nice smooth cup of coffee.
Really strong cup of coffee.
Chris just takes some whole coffee grounds and heats them over the fire a little bit to activate them and just
Mhm.
eats them.
That makes sense.
She offers
It's-
them to everybody if they're interested.
It's a natural pesticide. Keeps the bugs out of your bark.
Bark.
I think Ruth would take a couple of grounds and mix them into the beans just to add like a little bit more of a like rounded
He has-
earthy flavor.
like he hasn't gotten up. Does Raquel enjoy coffee?
Raquel doesn't know what coffee is. And
Does Raquel try coffee?
no,
Raquel has offered coffee.
no.
That
Oh,
tracks.
I'm a pass. Raquel's ready to get up and go.
Okay.
Yeah, Ruth, like he slams his beans and he's on the prowl.
All right. After a long rest, your hit points, your healing surges all recover, and you are reset to 1 action point each.
Hey,
the path is clear before you.
Yep. Ruth will climb back up, lead the way.
The skull.
All right.
To find a door.
This is actually the lowest point in the wall thus far.
Mhm.
It's going to be the easiest place to cross.
All right. Well, we should keep our head on a swivel, making sure there's no other beings inside, and if we come across them, be polite.
All right.
I
You
am
make
gonna
your
look at all of the plants, though. Like, I want to know what they
Oh.
are.
Oh, absolutely. These appear to be a number of different garden plants. And you can tell that they were expertly curated so that there would be something blooming at all times of the year.
And they're well cared for.
No, these are actually, they seem to be abandoned actually.
Oh.
Like the stone itself is fairly ruined. These plants have kind of overgrown and taken over the place.
Oh, okay. But
It
yeah.
is. But what is blooming at this time?
There's some pink ones, there's some blue ones, there's some yellow ones. You want a nature check for exact?
Sure. 21.
21.
Hey.
All right. Rakel, as you're walking along, and kind of examining the various plants that you see here, everything is a little bit different than it is in the grove. You wouldn't exactly know the names of each of these plants, but you can, like, if I were to like put it in scientific terms, you could like identify them by like how many leaves they have. You know different properties of these plants. It's kind of funny. I don't know. It's like going to a different dimension, you know? Like everything is a little bit different, but you know enough about nature that you could identify what these plants are adjacent to. Like you could find the equivalent of a plant in your own world. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Um as you guys are walking along, you make your way along this path for quite some time. The wall continues up, like on either side of you. So you kind of find yourself in, I really don't know how else I would explain it. It's like almost like a gate that goes for quite some distance. This wall is pretty thick. Um, you look down and you can see that there are some juveniles of what would be considered a living plant.
Like living
With
plant in the same kind that Triss is, or living plant that it is just not dead?
um I guess I say living plant as in something that is capable of perambulating.
That's a word.
That's a big word.
Walking around.
Oh, okay.
And as you're examining these juvenile plants and kind of putting that together, everyone hears this. Chak, 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 chak. And you kind of look off to the side from where that noise is coming from. You see a perfectly round orb, um, kind of shiny in the way that scales are, about up to kid's waist in height. And it goes chuck, 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 and you realize it has an appendage at sticking off of it, um, which you identify at about the last second as a rattle, as it rolls over one more time, as though like on a rattlesnake, right? And you see squished into this ball essentially is the face of a snake. and it regards you. And as it like settles in place, having rolled, like pretty close to you guys, within striking distance, you might say, that rattle begins to shake.
Ah, Chak Chak.
And when we come back from our break, we will roll initiative.
Incredible. So we are going to be back in 5 to 10 minutes. Don't go no place unless it's to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. Pick yourself up something nice, and we'll see all of you guys shortly. All right, everybody. See you soon. We're back. Hello, everybody. The layout has changed. A snake is amongst us. And we're here. Danae, take us away.
All right. Okay, so you see before you a battlefield. There is a bit where the wall has crumbled away, and you can see that there is water there. The shallow bits are just going to be difficult terrain. So the rules that apply to difficult terrain applies to the water. You can if you go into the water, you can choose to use an athletics check to swim across. If you go into the deep bit in the middle there, you must use an athletics check to swim across. Okay. Otherwise, before you is a ball-shaped snake that is rattling and getting ready to strike. Across the way, that square and that square with an X, those are two statues. The square with an X is crumbled away, but the regular square is still intact. Any questions thus far about what you see in front of you?
Plain as day.
All right. Clear as mud?
That opposite, but yeah, okay, I get it.
All right. Chak Chak bounces forward and strikes. An 11 probably doesn't hit your AC, Ruth.
That is correct.
All right. Chak Chak is now going to shift away. And make a stealth check. A 14 only beats Kid's passive perception. So I'm going to mark Kid as the only one who can not see Chak Chak at this juncture. Okay. Few moments pass. Yeah, okay. Just a minute.
Oh.
As things begin to happen.
Can I use a reaction?
What triggers the reaction?
An enemy with is it within 2 squares of me? Or was it?
Which one are you referring to?
The
original.
His original spot.
It
It says an enemy within 2 squares of you moves on its turn.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that would have been within 2 squares, yes.
Okay, I'm going to use Pursuit of the Hunter.
Oh!
Yes, it is a...
Go get him, Tris!
Hey, yo! It's once per encounter, I can do this. So I'm going to... off this path is difficult terrain, you said? Or do I still have line of sight if I move here?
He is not hidden to you.
Yeah.
So you do still have you do still have line of sight, yes.
Cool. Okay. That's what I would like to do on his turn.
Okay.
You shift 3 squares until the end of your next turn. You deal 1d6 extra damage to the triggering enemy when you hit it, and you ignore a -2 penalty to attack rolls for attacking it when it has cover or concealment.
I'm putting a little green dot on it to indicate that effect.
Love it.
That's until the end of your next turn?
Correct. Until the end of this current turn that I am taking.
Okay. Anything else for you?
For my turn?
It's not your turn yet.
Okay. Then no.
Okay. This one, two. I was gonna say that a few of these plants begin to shift and move with a quickness. Double check these because I want to make sure I'm not forgetting any minor actions. Right. All right. Kid, something's coming after you. You hear a slithering sound, as one of these bushes, separates itself from the rest of the foliage, and juts out an impaling thorn. Does a 14 hit your fortitude?
Oh boy. It does not.
All right. Yeah, with your fortitude, I imagine, it kind of like tries to like jab into you, and then you feel that vine sort of like slither around you and try to grab you, but you're able to like jump out of its grasp.
Mhm.
Yeah, just tear away. And then it's going to shift back into the foliage. This one is going to slither forward and try and grab Carruthers.
Meh.
Does a 12 hit your fortitude,
Versus
Carruthers?
Fortitude. Let me check. Fortitude is 16, so that is a miss.
Alrighty. Likewise, it will also shift backwards. Trisannas, it is now your turn.
Hello. Trisannas pulls out her bow, and as she does, the tip glows with a little bit of green energy as she uses her Thorn Cloud shot. So this is going to be versus AC. Oh, ew.
That's a
Well,
natural one.
How's that look? Can
I'm
I
a
re-roll it?
By using an action point?
Correct.
You may.
I shall. Powers. Thorn Cloud shot. 13?
A 13 is not gonna hit.
Woo. At least it's not a one.
Actually, what does that green dot do again?
It gives me +2 if it has concealment. It ignores the -2 penalty to attack rolls for if it has cover or concealment.
I see. Okay. Yeah. You're not gonna hit it, unfortunately. Do you know if the effects still occur regardless of whether it hits? Or if that's a hit effect?
It from the ground around the enemy you strike. So this the wisdom plus about the attack creates the attack creates a zone and a burst of 1 centered on the target. The zone lasts until the start of your next turn. Any creature that ends its turn within the zone takes poison damage equal to its wisdom modifier, or to my wisdom modifier.
Does it say if it's an effect or a hit effect? Because it does it say like on a hit, or does it just say effect?
It says
because
the attack creates. It doesn't say on a hit or not.
Yeah.
So I think if the arrow lands, it creates the zone there.
Let me double check. Because the way that I wrote the macro makes it seem like a hit effect to me.
Yeah.
But I want to be sure that I'm not cheating you out of something.
Yeah, I can put it in
that
the
you
chat.
would normally get. Yeah, that's on a hit.
Okay. Because it does say Thorn Cover Vines erupt from the ground around the enemy you strike, so I'm assuming that it has to be a strike to do so.
Right. Yep.
Cool.
Okay. Unfortunately, no.
That's
and
fun.
then that green dot clears.
Correct.
Anything else on your turn?
I'm gonna shift back. Wait, 5, 10, 15, 20. I'm gonna shift back 5. That's it.
All right. Ruth, it is your turn. You are confronted with a perfectly spherical snake, and a few bushes that are attempting to grab you.
Okay. I am going to move 1, 2, 3 squares.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use my Dire Wolverine Strike
Aha!
to attack every enemy in a burst around me. So
I like that.
let's see it. 22 versus AC or 10 damage to each.
I believe that will hit both of them, yes. All right. The plant finds itself bloodied. We'll go ahead and put a red dot on there to indicate that. And Chak Chak is not bloodied.
Okay. And then I can shift.
You already moved, right?
Okay, yes.
There is one move action in 4th edition. You
Okay.
can't break it up, I'm afraid.
Gotcha. No worries. That is going to be it for me unless, hold on just a second, I'm making sure. Oh, that's specifically for that move. Never mind, I'm good. That's it.
All right. Okay. Kid, it is not quite your turn yet, as something else that is hidden becomes visible. Trisannas, you hear a slithering and a rustling next to you. A 9 probably doesn't hit your fortitude, though.
No, ma'am.
All right. It's going to shift a little bit closer. Kid, it is now your turn.
Ruth has got that handled. Okay. I'm gonna actually do some sword mage stuff. I'm going to... Do I have to be here? Yes. Shift down 1 square and then use my... Oh, that's a standard, isn't it? Yeah, okay. I'm gonna do my Aegis of Shielding and mark the... Is this a plant or Chak Chak?
All the green ones are plants.
Okay.
Chak Chak is the white one.
Dang. Yeah, I'll... Nah, that changes things. Hold on. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, I'll step up this way, use my Aegis of Shielding, and target the Chak Chak.
Chak Chak is currently hidden from you. So you will take a -5 to this attack if you target Chak Chak.
It is not an attack. It's
Okay.
a burst,
Do you-
and then I get to... Okay.
Do you have
one
to be able
creature
to do you have to be able to see him in order to do it?
Does not say. I will double check the wiki, though. I wish I had that open. I had that open earlier today, or earlier in the game. Here. Class. Sword mage. Aegis of Shielding. You create an arcane link between you and an enemy, allowing you to blunt its attack against your allies. It's an at-will minor action. Arcane Close Burst 2, and it says target 1 creature in the burst.
All right. I think that works.
Cool. I had this marked as a standard. It's a minor. So I can do the thing I want to do and be haha funny guy.
Okay.
Which is... When am I ever going to use this? I'm going to use my ability Whirling Blades.
Okay.
You see...
I will remind you, a hidden creature, you're going to take a -5 to the attack.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay, carry on.
You see Kid flip his rifle up to the muzzle, pull it back behind his head, and throw it like a tomahawk.
Incredible.
Natural
Oh my
20
God.
for 27.
You motherfucker.
22 actually -5. I'm sorry.
No, a natural 20 hits automatically, as you will find.
RJ does it again.
All right. So the
I
way
thought it
that
was just physical dice, RJ. What the fuck?
the way that critical hits work in 4th edition is that you do maximum damage on your dice.
How many dice do this do? Oh, it's my weapon dice, I think.
Yeah, it's a D10, it appears.
So 2d10, 20 damage.
Yeah, 20 plus your modifier.
I'm sorry. I think this is modified off of my intelligence. So it's gonna be 24
On Chak Chak?
on Chak Chak.
Okay. Is this lethal damage? You just blew your daily on this guy, right?
I know, but I had a moral thing with Kid where he doesn't really kill any if he doesn't need to.
Oh, I hit the wrong one.
Mostly doesn't kill animals if he doesn't need to. People,
Okay.
sure, why not?
You can choose to do
I would like to
lethal
do
or
non-lethal.
non-lethal.
I would like to do
Okay.
non-lethal if possible.
Okay. All right. Okay.
It impacts against the balloon and the Chak Chak goes down. Like Steve Rogers, he just turns his head to the side for a second and then reaches out and the gun is back in his hand.
Okay. Oh, you know what? That's 4th edition. Sometimes your players nat 20 their daily. Anything else for you, kid?
I use I'm gonna use an action point for a minor action,
Okay.
which is to Aegis of Shielding again. The plant that is below me is 2 squares out, so I'm gonna mark them.
All right. This one here, right?
This guy. Oh, yeah, that guy.
I just gave a little blue dot.
Blue dot.
Okay. That one's marked by you.
Cool beans. That's it.
It's a minor action to mark, right?
Yes.
You used a minor action at the beginning of your turn.
I used an action point to give myself another minor action.
I see. Okay, sorry.
Sorry, I might have mumbled that.
I missed that part. That's okay. All right. Rakel, it is your turn.
Did it seem like the Chak Chak was the only beast?
Mm-hmm. Chak Chak is a proper name. So Chak Chak is no longer a threat.
But the vines are.
The vines do remain a threat, yes.
Have they changed at all since Chak Chak died?
No.
Or got KO'd?
They seem unrelated aside from being opportunists.
Rakel is going to grip her totem and summon Moravec.
All right. If you
in the space below Ruth.
Okay. Poof.
That was a minor action. And I would like to make a protecting strike on red dot.
Alrighty. So 13 versus Will.
Sorry. Not protecting strike, defending strike.
Okay.
Third,
An 8 versus reflex.
apparently.
I'm afraid that's not going to hit.
Okay. Do I get the other effects even if I do not get a hit?
Let me double check on that one. Yeah, it looks like that's an effect that happens on a hit.
Okay.
You'll find that at wills are kind of similar to cantrips from 5th edition,
Mhm.
where they only really have an effect if they hit. You'll find that encounter powers often have effects that proc regardless of a hit. Anything for else for you, Rakel?
That's me.
All right. Does your spirit give any benefits to people adjacent to them by default?
No. Enemies cannot move in the spirit space, but allies can.
Okay, cool. I was just checking. All right, so one of these thorns here is marked by Kid, so I think that just makes sense for it to come and try and get him, huh? It's going to step forward and attempt to impale him. That's a 17 versus your fortitude, Kid.
Oh, I believe, yep, that hits.
Okay, that's going to be 7 damage, and you are now grabbed. As
Uh-oh.
a minor, it is going to shift away and pull you with it.
Ugh.
Let's see. This one looks like a good button for grabbing that little net token. All right. Next, this fella is bloodied, and he's going to try and grab Carruthers. A 12 versus your fortitude, Simon.
That is going to be a miss.
Okay, that's fine. It shifts away. Trisannas, it's your turn.
Okie dokie. I am going to try and shoot. Just with a ranged basic.
Okay.
Thrown
what are you
is,
at?
sorry, thrown is different than ranged, right?
It depends on
general.
keywords.
Because I have some that say, you must have a thrown.
As in like THROW?
Yeah, like like I'm imagining a throwing knife or a throwing axe. Is that
Right.
That is different than a ranged attack?
I'm reading it.
Yeah.
It uses your dexterity modifier unless otherwise noted for the description of the power used. Yeah, I don't see how it's any different.
Okay. Okie dokie. Well, I got this guy right in front of me, right?
I see. Okay. It's a light thrown versus a heavy thrown, where you can choose to use. If you have a light thrown weapon, you can use your dexterity. If you have a heavy thrown weapon, you use your strength.
Okay. But that is not a bow action, or I guess I'm. Yeah.
If it says thrown, then it implies that it wouldn't be a bow action.
Okay, just making sure. I guess since this thing is right up on me, I'm going to try to make a basic melee attack with my knife.
Okay.
Which I'm not very good at. But we'll see. 17 versus AC.
That will hit.
Okay.
For 3 damage?
Yeah.
All right.
Is this considered a close attack?
It's considered a melee attack, a melee weapon attack.
Okay. So
a close attack is usually some sort of ability that kind of has an area effect.
Okay. then I can use my my Seeker Bond to shift as a minor action.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and shift. Can I go diagonally?
Absolutely. Yeah. 100%.
Away from this thing.
Okay.
That is my turn.
Alrighty. Ruth, it is your turn.
Yeehaw! Can I leap to here? Or do I have to go around?
Okay. 4th edition opportunity attacks work a little bit different.
Uh-huh.
In 5th edition, if you are to move past an enemy,
Uh-huh.
like you basically you enter their threatened squares, right? And then you can move freely in those threatened squares, right?
Yes.
If you move out of a threatened square, any threatened square, even if it is from one threatened square to another in 4th edition, it provokes an attack of opportunity.
So who else's square am I being threatened by? The dead snake?
No, just the guy that you're going towards. The movement that you described here, I'm going to move you for
Yeah.
a second just to show what you did.
Uh-huh.
You moved from here to here, right?
Yes.
That would be, this is a threatened square here. You are moving out of a threatened square.
Okay, so I didn't know. I thought that it was a wall leading to a lower spot, so I was trying
Right.
to jump.
Yeah, that's okay for you to jump down on
Okay.
top of Chak Chak.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
just saying the movement that you showed me was from here to here, and that would provoke.
Okay, gotcha.
That's what I'm informing you of.
Okay, sounds good. So effectively, what I would want to do then is just make a 5-foot step here.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay. And then I got this axe from fighting Thorny Toad Jim. So I'm gonna use it because I think I should. That seems like a thing a guy would do.
All right. You're gonna deal yourself damage equal to half your level. Half your level at first level would be 0.
Okay.
Because you always roll down.
Round
always round down in D&D. Yep.
Okay. And then
And you are considered bloodied until the end of your next turn.
Yes. Okay. So then I make a regular attack with this?
Any attack that you make at this point,
Uh-huh.
if it hits, is going to do an additional d6 of damage because of
Okay.
the magic item that you're using here. But you have to make sure that the attack is the axe, which is in your offhand.
Okay.
And I know at least one of your attacks does not include your axe.
Gotcha. Okay, so I have careful attack, twin strike, hit and run.
I believe twin strike would include your offhand.
Yes. So I will twin strike.
Okay. Oh, dang. That first one is a natural 20. And that 17 will definitely hit. So a d6. You'll do the full 6 damage on that first attack,
Okay.
right? And then that second, go ahead and roll another d6
Okay.
for your magic item.
4.
Oh, you know what? It's a d10 because it is bloodied. I lied to you. Roll me a d10 instead. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay. So then it'll be an additional. It's 2 damage for that second attack, and then
Oh. Thank you.
another 2 damage, which will drop this plant.
I don't feel bad. I'll use lethal on a plant. Just clearing
Just
the hedges.
cutting weeds.
Yep.
All right, trimming the hedges. All right. On this vine's turn, it's going to. You know what? Actually, I'm going to have it move down here, move across here, and then hop into these bushes here. And then it's going to attempt to grab Trisannas. A 7 probably doesn't hit your fortitude.
No, ma'am.
All right. That it has already used its move action. However, it has a minor that allows it to shift, so it's going to do that. Kid, it is your turn.
What are the repercussions of being grappled?
Being grappled. That's a good question. I believe the actual term is grabbed. Let me look it up for you. You are immobilized. A grabbed creature can take the escape action to try and get away.
Nah,
Or you can teleport away if you have a teleport.
I want to be here.
I'm
in melee.
Or you can be pulled, pushed, or slid out of the grabber's reach. So if you have a forced movement done on you, then you can break that grapple. Let's see what immobilized does for you.
Ah, there we go.
You cannot move. So basically the same as 5e.
I can't even attack, no.
You can attack.
Oh, sweet.
You just don't have a move action. You cannot move from your spot.
I want to be here anyway. Promise of Storm.
Okay.
What is that?
I'm going to deal 5 extra thunder damage if this hits. Or, no, I'm going to do lightning lure. Yeah, 5 extra lightning damage if this hits.
Okay.
Wait! Oh, this is going to be funny. Yeah. Does a 23 hit?
Yes, it does.
So 16 points of lightning damage, and I'm going to force it to move.
All right. Where's it going?
I'm gonna put it right next to Ruthie. That's adjacent to me.
Okay.
I have a question, RJ, and this is
Yes.
also to the DM. Does it stay electrified? And if so, there is a body of water.
I'm afraid not.
Okay.
But I don't know. Do that attack while it's in the water and let's see what happens.
What this looks like is Kid just raises a fist to the sky, makes some circles around it, and a lasso appears. He punches forward, and it wraps around the vine, pulls backward, it tightens, and then pulls the vine behind him.
Incredible.
That's also forced movement, so does that break the grapple?
Only if it moves you out of its range.
Ah, got it. Well, I set him up, you knock him down, Ruthie.
Alrighty. Anything else for you, my friend?
Yep, that's everything.
Rakel, that means it is your turn. I've made sure that you have access to your spirit's token. Do you want to describe what the spirit looks like for everybody here?
Yeah, it is the same large, let's say like dire-sized red wolf with just massive elk antlers. That's just kind of a little bit translucent, like it's not fully here. It is a fluid. We will see how Newtonian it gets or does not get.
Is it red like, like it's made of like red translucent light, like a ghost?
No,
or is it red in like
it's brown.
Yeah.
The color is brown.
in it like
it
natural
looks like
colors?
the
Fur.
red wolf.
Got it. Cool.
Okay, so it is in the threatened space of the lassoed
Yes.
thing. Okay.
Tis indeed.
So Rakel is gonna come next to all of this kerfuffle that's happening and try to get Morbek to do defending strike again. Was it defending strike? No. Yes. Yes, defending strike. 21 versus its reflex.
That certainly is going to hit.
Okay. It will do 12 points of damage, and I and my allies gain a +1 bonus to AC while adjacent to the spirit. So that would be Ruth right now.
All right. This plant goes down.
Okay. When I move on my turn, my spirit can also move at my speed.
Okay.
Does that have to happen when Rakel takes the movement action?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so. I can double check that though,
Well, it's good
because
to know.
my memory of 4th edition is that your movement cannot be broken up. Yeah, I believe so. Move up to walking speed. I'll double check on that rule, to see if you can break up your movement. And I'll reassess whether or not I want to enforce that rule, because I feel like it's nice to be able to use all of your movement. But I'll also have to check that it doesn't mess with the balance of encounters in any way. All right.
Can you define close burst for me real quick?
Burst versus a blast. Let me double check just to make sure. Okay. I'm going to move you guys for a moment. Please do not be alarmed.
It's alarming.
You'll find that this here is a close burst.
Okay.
This is a look at the man behind the curtain.
Yeah, as opposed to this here, which is a blast. So a close burst 1 is about the same size as a blast 3. A burst 1 means that it goes out
One square
to
from.
each adjacent square from the target, right? So a close burst, the origin square is you. So every square adjacent to you. Going back in.
Okay, that's it.
All right. Trisannas, it is your turn now.
Yay! Okay. This bugger is trying to bug on me. You said he has cover?
It's light cover, so a -2.
Okay. I'm gonna try and shoot it. See how it goes.
Okay.
Ranged basic. Oof.
16 versus AC, I believe. With the -2 of the cover, it's just barely not gonna hit.
Okay, then I am going to use my inevitable shot. The trigger is, it's a free action. If you miss a creature with a ranged attack, you make a ranged basic attack at an enemy within 5 squares of the creature you... Oh, no.
There's only the one.
It's just a 1. Just the 1. This bitch. Okay, I'm just gonna move then. Got 6. I'm gonna go ahead and just go over here. That's it. That's me.
Okay. Ruth. 'Tis thee.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
Gonna rush it. And then
Get him.
Go attack. I am still. Do I have to do the weapon power as the minor action again this turn?
The weapon power is a daily, so it can only be used once per day.
Okay.
And
Sure.
when did it say that it ends? It's like until the end of your next turn, right?
Let me check.
Yes, until the end of your next turn.
Okay, so I'm
Yeah.
still getting
So
the benefits this
this
turn.
is the one where it ends, right?
Gotcha, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so I will use my twin strike.
Get 'em.
I have to do melee. Aha!
Okay. An 18 will hit, so that'll do 1 damage on that one.
Oof.
And then an 11 does not hit, unfortunately, so it doesn't proc your daily.
Could I use my action point to re-roll?
You may, if you still have an action point.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm just gonna roll the twin
Yeah,
strike
just hit it again.
Yeah.
Just do it again. We'll only count the second one. Oh, that's weird that it's. Why does it not show it? Oh, that's weird. I'm gonna have to look at your macros. Do you see how it like shows
Yeah.
it says short sword and hand axe there?
Yeah, that's
It
weird.
wasn't doing that before. It's the exact same macro, right?
I think I pressed a different one.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look at that. That's weird. A 19 will hit, however.
Okay.
So that'll do 6 damage at
Hell yeah.
first. It is not bloodied, so it's just going to do an extra d6 if you'd like to roll that
Sure.
for me. Ooh, nice. Which will, in fact, bloody it.
Yeah.
4th edition.
Yeah, this little man. If anyone out there has played Dark Souls 3, Vort of the Boreal Valley, where it's just a man like scrambling around, that's kind of Ruth right now.
All right, you are no longer considered bloodied. But we'll see how long that lasts, sir. A 24 probably hits your fortitude, yes?
24 does, yes.
All right. So you're going to take 7 damage. You are grabbed, and then as a minor action, he's going to jump into the water, pulling you with it.
What a dick. Okay.
Actually, he can only pull you 1 square, so he's almost pulled you into the water.
Even better.
Actually, let's see if there's a way I can swing that. Yeah, okay. Let's do. No.
I'll
There's
move with you. I'll follow you.
even if I go up there, I can't do it. All right, I was trying to, but I can only pull you 1.
Okie dokie.
Pulling any creatures it has grabbed into spaces adjacent to. I think it can pull you into any space adjacent to you.
Or adjacent. Yeah, it's adjacent to it. So yeah, you can just fling me into the river.
All right, you're in the water now.
Yahoo!
And you're
Second bath
grabbed.
today.
Oh, Carruthers. Okay, kid. Tis thee. Oh, sorry, I skipped right by.
All
There you go.
right, here we go. 5 squares of movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Booming blade.
Oh boy.
It's thunder, not lightning.
Okay.
Gotta differentiate that for the people
Good-
looking at the water.
Good point, buddy. Good point. I'm glad you're thinking. I'd already forgotten.
25 to AC.
Absolutely hits. Yes.
Yeah. That's weird. I gotta check that out later. For 11 points of weapon damage.
All right.
And
The rest of that will never resolve because you have, with this concussive blast, rendered it no longer living.
for Connor's sake, it looks like he flips the gun backwards so that the butt is aimed at the vines. He pulls the trigger and just lets the gun go forward while adding his own strength to gun butt this thing.
And with that, we find ourselves at the end of this combat.
Mr. Ruth!
I'm fine. Just a little wet is all, but that seems to be, a common theme these days.
You ladies all right over there?
Oh, Rakel, what was that creature you had summoned?
Does your spirit stick around after a combat, Raquel?
It does right now because it's still looking at the snake.
Sniffing.
Uh,
Or
this
doing
yours?
like a classic like canid point.
I think it's more I'm getting the image of like a horse or a deer like stepping on a snake, like
Oh, I see.
just stomping on it, hoofing it.
Mhm.
And-
It's making little squeaky noises like a dog toy.
Oh no.
oh,
In
Squeak
fact-
cleans.
Oh God. Yeah, sure. That's the tone. Squeak, squeak, and then it just goes, and it like bounces off into the underbrush.
it will absolutely go and pounce on it.
The ears perk up as it moves, and it's like,
Yeah, it chases it. I don't know what I expected. I put a ball in front of a dog and then like threw it into the bushes.
And
I did all but say fetch.
From behind Kid's back, he produces Chak Chak.
That is one. That's a spirit.
I can see that.
Like a ghost wolf?
No.
Oh, I
Oh.
see. Like a spirit of the forest or something such.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Well done, everyone.
Brothers, do you cross the water to the other side, or do you come back out?
I cross the
On
water
to-
to the other side. I'm gonna be
You
tying
cross
a
the water
ro-
to the other side.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would like to.
All right.
The idea
You
being
tie off a rope.
Yep, tie off a rope, get it on over to the other side, and then just start like sending
Okay.
over gear and other stuff.
The other side doesn't have much in the way of places for you to tie off, but there is that statue there that would actually probably be the most obvious place to tie off a rope.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that thing.
All right, just a moment.
Uh-oh.
The 30 hit your fortitude.
Well, we'll see.
The obelisk was a demon.
19 versus your reflex.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay. This stone very suddenly comes to life as you get near it, and reaches out, and takes hold of your skinny old man arm, with a very strong grip, like too strong. And the look on its face is completely blank, but it is looking directly at you now. But it seems to stop, like as though animated, and then just like ends its like it no longer moves after grabbing hold of you, and is still holding far too tight.
Don't like that.
Let me double check what an escape would be.
DC
Probably,
12.
yeah, but like what check it would be, it doesn't say. It's a good thing I have this open.
Crib sheet.
Probably in
I need to get my
athletics.
crib sheet open.
Would be my guess.
Place your bets, folks.
We got athletics. We got athletics. We got athletics. Is one of the bets.
All right. It is a move action, and it's an acrobatics or athletics check.
Ah,
Hey, just like 5e.
Yeah.
Hey.
22.
All right. You are able to pull your old man. I imagine that like you're skinny enough that you actually just slide out.
So when he grabbed on, Ruth essentially flexed his arm as much as he could to take up extra space within that grip, similar to how anacondas will kill you. And then he
see.
will just bring his arm out after the statue has stayed dormant. because he was holding on to the rope end when his arm got, can he leave the rope in the grip of this gold creature?
Certainly. And I know that it does say a gold statue. It is not gold itself.
Okay.
It is the same kind of sandstone texture as the rest of the ruins.
Gotcha.
But yeah, you can do you stay next to the statue?
No, God, no. No,
Okay.
no.
As you do so, you see its head follow you, and as soon as you are a certain distance away from it, say maybe, not adjacent to it, mechanically,
Yeah.
it freezes in place.
Hands up!
Chris's gun goes down.
Hands up. Don't get close to these things. This rope is basically gone. They can have it.
How about we just take a walk around, yeah?
You do kind of have to jump down into the water to get across, but it's only about waist high. It's not a concern necessarily. You could use the rope to pull yourself across, and then
you up to next to the statue.
Yeah, get up somewhere that is not next to the statue.
All right, one-time offer if anyone needs ferrying across.
I was gonna offer that to Rakel. Would you like assistance fording the river?
I'm good. And she'll just jump in.
Mm-hmm. Mr. the Kid.
We're down.
Oh, I was offering to help you across.
Oh, no, he's fine.
Okay.
Strong boy.
Yeah. She will make her way across with her gun above her head. I forgot that that bows are guns in this game, so she was not firing a bow. She was firing a rifle.
Right, of course.
Yeah. She will get across and help Kid up with a hand.
Thank you, kindly.
Ruth, while you're waiting for everybody to cross, you get a pretty good look at this statue. It appears to be a statue of, I'll say it's a young man in a toga, and like looking at him, he is made of stone, but there are just the thinnest flecks, lines like spider silk, that just sort of that enrobe the statue of gold. There are trace amounts of gold throughout this statue, it seems. Where the name gold statue would come from.
Gotcha.
In the meta.
Okay. Would we be able to dust this thing? Or is this thing non-dustable?
I mean, you have to touch it in order to dust it.
Ruth.
We're gonna need money if we're gonna get the supplies to make it across the Palisades.
So what are you planning on doing?
Well, effectively, we can use the rule of law to break down that statue into some well-deserved earnings for having secured our way across not one but two rivers.
Annotation from Kid. Law is the magical force of the realm. Quantified by how much gold you have.
Rakel remembers this.
We just gotta touch it in order to do so.
It's not what happened when you got close, right?
Yeah, it grabbed me, but I'll be more careful this time.
Okay, so as the law people, we would be able to attempt to extract the gold without breaking without having to render the statue not a statue anymore.
Yeah, I'd be willing to allow that, yes. Do you do it, Ruth?
What is That, what mechanically? How do we do that?
It would be an action. You would have to make physical contact with it.
I would like to roll. It's a magical thing, so I don't think I could get away with stealth. But I could try with athletics.
As some forethought, can I use my Aegis of Shielding to mark the statue so that any attacks going to Ruth are at a -2?
Can you do so without getting adjacent to it?
It's a close burst, so I have to be within a couple of two squares.
All right. Yeah, you could do that. You mark it.
Ye and dare I say ha. 16?
All right. What are you attempting exactly with a 16?
I want to, again, Dark Souls logic, just stick to the back where it can't easily swipe down to grab me. And I want to touch it with both hands and invoke the rule of law and strip it of its gold.
Okay. In that case, I would call this an initiative check rather than athletics, because mechanically this thing grabs whatever comes adjacent to it.
Gotcha. Well,
or
let's see.
attempts to, at least.
Oh, Ruth.
It's a statue, though. It can't get that high.
All right. An 18 versus your reflex.
Yes, that'll hit.
All right.
Yep.
3 damage. You're grabbed, but you can still attempt to dust it.
I'll still
Using an
attempt to dust it
immediate
from grab.
action to reduce that by 5.
All right. Cool.
Thank you.
You're grabbed by the statue, and you reach up, and you tune yourself to the law inside, and as you feel it seep out of the cracks of this statue, and form into gold coins in your palm, there is a flash in your mind's eye of a snake-like eye that is upon you.
You curse, boy.
Just for a moment. And then it is gone. And you look up and the statue is dormant. And there is no gold in the statue. But it now resides in your palm.
Ooh.
Oh.
How much was that?
Let's say 5 gold.
Okay.
You know what? Actually, no, there's not enough. There's not 5 gold in this statue. One. You get 1 gold.
Yeah, that'll buy us about
So worth
God, worth it.
a couple of days. on the
Totally
trail.
worth it.
Actually, this introduces some interesting mechanics. I'm glad we did this.
And that's my reward. 1 gold.
Yeah,
But
like
the
at a
knowledge
time.
we can do this later.
Well, seems that worked out in our favor this time. Let us be more cautious moving forward, I think.
Dinner's on that guy.
Right.
Make a thumbs back to the statue.
Shall we continue our way?
Of course. Next stop, Glimmer.
Let's hope. I wonder what happened to the being that was running this place. Seems it's fallen into some disrepair over time.
They might be one of the people that's gone missing.
Perhaps. Dare I say, these creatures are formidable, but not that dangerous. I don't think. Do you think that anyone running into here would be killed by them? I doubt most people will find their way in here.
It's not a matter of if I think that people are going to die when they come in here. If they go alone, they're sure to fail. And that's all there is to it.
I think it might be safe to say at least somebody passed through here before. Gestures to the other statue.
Well, shall we continue on while we have daylight still?
There's some smart thinking.
Sound of a match.
Didn't
getting
we
hit
just
by-
wake up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm just saying, let's not linger too long.
No, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Ruth will lead on.
All right. You travel on, and you pick your way down some overgrown steps. And this gives you a fairly good view of what is to come. You see some modest farms, gardens mostly, really, with some tasty vegetables, tomatoes, carrots, but in small numbers. It looks like recreational vegetable gardening rather than anything that's going to actually feed a town. However, these gardens are beyond what looks like a tall wrought iron white picket fence. And as you approach this fence, there is a gate in the middle of the road. There is another sign written in Primordial, and actually in a few additional languages here. It seems like this is a bit newer. It says, "Welcome to Glimmer. Dress code, formal." And that's where we're going to leave off today.
Sunday digs
Oh,
are back on the
no.
cart.
Wings, this was incredible. Thank you so much. I am so excited. I even drew a little picture of the Chak Chak in my notes because I love him so
Baby.
much. But I also love whenever y'all are on the channel. Wings, where can we find you? What do you do?
Well, hey everybody, I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings, mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on this channel. You can also find me right here, running this game on Mondays. So come back and check us out again, because I'm very excited to continue this adventure with all of my friends. DanaeKeener.com.
Tsuchinoko, that's what I was thinking of for the ball snake. Anyway, hey
Yes,
everybody.
you are
I'm
correct. That was a
RJ.
rattlesnake Tsuchinoko.
Yay! I got the reference. You can catch me at RJustice282 on Twitter, Twitch, most of the social medias. Over at the Hype Goblins on Thursdays, where we do D&D 5e, but it's all homebrew content. It's pretty choice. I have 4 arms. I'm a barbarian druid. Saturdays over at GGK, where we do Blaze in the Dark. I have revealed myself as an old man in a boy's body, Cagliostro style. Anyway, DanaeKeener.com.
Hello, everybody. I'm LBHackEmUp. You can find me at LBHackEmUp on the Twitters, the Instagrams, all that fun stuff. But mostly you can find me on Hack Recklessly on Twitch and YouTube, where we have some fun stuff going on there. Next time I'm going to be live is on Wednesday on Nerd Immersion's channel, where we are playing the Lost Minds of Fandelver, and I am playing Soot, who is a changeling druid. She is very fun. And but most importantly, this Sunday coming up, we will be playing the first episode of the final season of Playthings of the Gods, where our level 15 players will be moving through the War of the Gods, quote unquote. It's going to be fun. The first episode is going to be intense, and I'm so excited to run it for my wonderful players. So join us on Sunday evening at 8:30 p.m. or 8 o'clock p.m. EST, where we're going to be doing that. I have 7 hours to do more planning tomorrow, and I'm very excited for this adventure. So that's me, DanaeKeener.com.
Boy, I'm Cyber. I'm figuring shit out right now. With the whole new place and everything. So I'm here for now. DanaeKeener.com.
And if you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hey, Acorns, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/indooradventures. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures, or you can go towards anywhere audio casts are being made for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, we are going to be heading out and going to our Patreon-supported after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions for myself or any of these other fine folk, or you'd like to know our stars and wishes of the game, feel free to just join us at Patreon. It's a great time. Look at those wonderful people. They're hanging out together. It's a great experience. It's such a great experience. We have to head out. But I'd like to say again, thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by. Thank you to these players for putting up with my bullshit once again this week, as well as Danae's. And of course, we'll see you all next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.